So a lot of thought has gone into where we locate people across the facility. So L1, L2 and L3 are vulnerable population. This is where our wheelchair bound or mobility impaired people are. If they were to be evacuated, they'll be evacuated down the bottom and to the left to the indoor sports centre. This area here is single males. This area here is single females, and our couples are everywhere here in between. And then we have our family groupings here. You'll notice by the board that we actually allocate the rooms. A green circle means that it's ready to go, that it's either been cleaned, its maintenance is up to scratch, and we're able to allocate it. And you'll see that there's no more than 2 per block, and we maintain that for quarantine purposes. You'll see some couples are next door to each other. Often that's because one is the carer of the other, or they don't wish to be separated any further. Whereas other couples are separated actually by 2 rooms to try and maintain some quarantine standards for individuals. In addition, we run a medical centre on the inside. The medical centre is open for 2 periods during the day and provides general practice services, and also allows for people to get medicines and other things looked at during this time. Our staff are housed also just up here in this compound here, which is fenced off and separate. The Japan group had originally used this area, and now the Japanese team are supporting this area here. This is our high risk area, so M4 and M3, completely separated. The challenge with maintaining these areas is giving them access to rec activities, and we've had to really be thinking that through carefully on how to give them enough time out and enough entertainment without having the 2 cross over. This is the isolation area, M1 and M2, and when you're in isolation it's generally for a period of 24 hours, providing the tests all come back negative, in which case you don't require that rec activity for the time that you're there. So as I've said previously, screenings occur according to blocks. So screening team L1 will go out and screen in the morning between 9 and 11. If anyone fails that screen, the ISO team will come from the medical centre. They'll come and they'll collect these people. They'll take them up into isolation where they'll be swabbed. They'll then remain until the results occur. Once the results are back, if it's negative, they return back to their original room. So this has also meant we've got to consider fire evacuation strategies and knowing who's in what room at any one time. That's been quite challenging, and we have a good system now whereby if a fire was to occur, our lead logistics officer on call for the day and night is identified and works in the controlled area. He's a fireman, he will go in and he will assess what the situation is, but before he does that, he'll call the medical lead. The medical lead will wake up the staff or bring the staff together to a donning or doffing station, depending on the area that they normally screen, and they'll wait out until further instructions are given by that logistics officer. If they're asked to then enter the zone, fully donned, they will go into their area that they screen and they will shepherd and guide those residents out. As I said before, L1, L2, L3 will go to the left to the indoor sports centre, whereas this group have an evacuation point down to the right, and this group here have an evacuation point out into the top car park, so even quarantine is maintained during that process.